I have an affinity for gift giving so that you don't have to. Okay. I've had a croissant and I've had a coffee. Well, I'm having my coffee, so hopefully I'm okay. Hopefully I'm better. They definitely spelled my name wrong, but it's okay. I love giving gifts. As long as I can remember, I go all out on wrapping, marbled paper. I'm going a little bit more minimalistic this year. This is very minimalistic for me. Usually I pull out a wax seal. I have loved giving gifts as long as I can remember. And I love receiving gifts. And I love it when people give me books because I love books, as we know. Here are just like a couple ideas for people in your life. Let's start with my favorite book of the year. That is No One Is Talking About This by Patricia Lockwood. I read this, I don't even know when I read this, like maybe March. It's a bit genre defying. Let's see what it says. Genre defying is in the first sentence. A woman known for her viral social media posts travels the world speaking to her adoring fans. She is overwhelmed by navigating the new language and etiquette of what she terms the portal, which we can assume is social media, where she grapples with an unshakable conviction that a vast chorus of voices is now dictating her thoughts. Suddenly, 2 texts from her mother pierce the fray. Something has gone wrong, and how soon can you get here? As real life and its stakes collide with the increasingly absurd antics of the portal, the woman confronts a world that seems to contain both an abundance of proof that there is goodness, empathy, and justice in the universe, and a deluge of evidence to the contrary. This has everything that I love about books. Kind of fragmentary thinking, super funny. Like a lot of people say that this book is like 2 different books put together. It's kind of 2 parts, split down the middle, and the first part is hilarious. I mean, I laughed out loud multiple times. My best friend Michelle just read this and loved it and said she laughed. Also, the blurbs on the back are from Sally Rooney and Gia Tolentino, which, I mean, A+ already. And yeah, I just feel like a lot of projects that I love are ones that explore meaning, kind of like esoteric style, something like this, something like Bluets, something like the show The OA, written by Britt Marling. It kind of explores meaning and like what is the meaning of everything. What is it? Connection? Is it family? Is it love? Is it a higher power? I like big questions like that and really heady conversations because I haven't answered those questions for myself, and I think it's really important to think about them, and I find it really inspiring and energizing. It's kind of like autofiction, and it's this woman who's very much in her own head and self-involved in her social media and like her thoughts and like what she believes. And then when something happens in her family, it kind of, there's this line in, I don't know if you guys know, but I love Taylor Swift. And there's a line in the documentary that she did for Netflix called Miss Americana, where she's like, something along the lines of, you can't really care what people are saying about you online when your mother is sick from her chemo. It's like things that feel so life or death often are overshadowed by things that have real meaning. And I think that's what this book explores ultimately. And I thought it was beautiful. I thought it was a triumph. This is my favorite book of 2021 and maybe in top 10 ever. So I think this would be a good book for someone that likes those heady sort of themes. Someone like me that likes the OA, that likes philosophy or deeper thinking or deeper conversations. Those aren't things that I'm an expert at, but I do really enjoy them and I find them fascinating. So, and it's also hilarious. And anyone that has like a fascination with social media as well, I think that this is a good pick for that. So, number one, my favorite book of the year. I will be gifting this to some people this year, and they'll just have to deal with it. So yeah, that's Patricia Lockwood. No one is talking about this. Also, stunning cover, which we'll talk about with Madeline in the next video, I'm sure. Let's talk about the writer in your life. Someone who likes writing and reading. So there's like some schmutz on this book, but this is George Saunders, A Swim in a Pond in the Rain. It has like a subtitle too, in which 4 Russians give a masterclass on writing, reading, and life. He's the author of Lincoln and the Bardo. George Saunders is amazing. Actually, Buddy read this with my friend Joseph. Me and Joseph, I would say Joseph is one of those people that would enjoy something like this. Like, he loves philosophy, he's very interested in deeper conversations, and loves writing as well, and is a great writer. And so we buddy read this together, and George Saunders describes this book as a master class. For the last 20 years, George Saunders has been teaching a class on the Russian short story to his MFA students at Syracuse University. In A Swim in a Pond in the Rain, he shares a version of that class with us, offering some of what he and his students have discovered together over the years. Paired with iconic short stories by Chekhov, Tolstoy, the 7 essays in this book are intended for anyone interested in how fiction works and why it's more relevant than ever in these turbulent times. I was a writing major in college, and my main emphasis was fiction, I think. I ended up doing like nonfiction, kind of autofiction memoir for my senior thesis, but I took a lot of fiction classes and really, really enjoyed them. And this book is basically just like, you're getting to take a class with George Saunders, who's an amazing author. And it's at your fingertips, and you don't have to pay thousands of dollars for it and go into student debt. So I think this would be great for anyone who loves writing or loves like literary theory and criticism and likes to know how things work and how stories work. I think this would even be good for someone who is interested in screenwriting or anything like that. George Saunders just has a lot of wisdom to give, and I'm glad that he made it consumable in this form. And like the fucking intro to this book even is just so amazing. Let me just read you a couple things I've underlined in this. Okay, it's talking about his class. My students are some of the best young writers in America. We pick 6 new students a year from an applicant pool of between 600 and 700. They arrive already wonderful. What we try to do over the next 3 years is help them achieve what I call their iconic space, the place from which they will write the stories only they could write, using what makes them uniquely themselves, their strengths, weaknesses, obsessions, peculiarities, the whole deal. At this level, good writing is assumed. The goal is to help them acquire the technical means to become defiantly and joyfully themselves. I think that really aligns with my ethos of writing. Like, the website that I run, Midnight Woman, is a space online where people can anonymously share stories, and part of why I started that is because I believe everyone has a story to tell and only they can tell it, and that it's all valid whether you're a good writer or not. And so yeah, that's kind of his philosophy on it, and this book is incredible. And he talks about Russian short story, which is fascinating and something I had never delved into before. It's a big one, but this is stunning and a very special sort of treat, I think, for the writer in your life, if you have one of those. Next, okay, I think that a good gift to give someone is a vintage copy of a book. And I guess this could kind of go along with this. Getting someone like a special edition of a book is a really special gift, I think. Whether it's their favorite book and you're getting them a sort of specific edition that they don't have, or you're finding a vintage book that the cover is really beautiful, or they might be interested in the subject matter. An example is this Against Interpretation by Susan Sontag. This is an iconic book. Susan Sontag is a critic and very, very famous, and this cover is gorgeous, and I found it at a used bookstore. It was originally $1.95. And literally look at the little Against Interpretation. Yeah, I just think utilizing places like Etsy or your local used bookstore is a good place to pick up vintage books that are special. I think last year, for my friend Dakota, I got him a vintage copy of a Kurt Vonnegut novel, and Kurt Vonnegut's covers are just iconic, and it was gorgeous and had like sprayed pages, so the pages were like red or blue or something on the edges, and it was just gorgeous. I think that when you're looking for something like that, and it shows that you really thought about someone and intentionally went and found them something that you thought that they might like, I think that that's a really special gift. And I love collecting vintage books. And the thing with books as gifts as well, I will say, probably should have said this at the beginning, but books are patient. They are not in a rush. You can give someone a book and they can leave it on the shelf for years before they ever pick it up. It's not a thing that they have to attend to right now, but books always have the time. And giving someone a book adds to their collection, and they might not read it anytime soon. They might even never read it. They might just look at it and have it on their shelf. But I think literature makes us more clever and well-rounded people. And something like this I think is always a good gift. So there's that. And then along with that, I suppose, goes like a special edition of a book. So this is like the 10th anniversary edition of Bluets by Maggie Nelson. So stunning. Let me make sure that's what it is. Yeah, 10th anniversary edition by Wave Books. It's stunning. Like, this is like probably my favorite book of all time. And I picked up the 10th anniversary version for myself. But anyone who likes books like this, and I know a lot of people that watch my channel like books like this, like Maggie Nelson, like Blueberries by Elena Savage. This is a good book for someone like that. And this edition is just stunning. And even the under the slipcover, it's this like imitation linen, and you can see it's debossed, and it says, "Suppose I were to begin by saying that I had fallen in love with a color," which is the beginning of the book. And I just think this version is stunning and is a nice like collector's item. You don't even ever have to like, I don't think I'll ever read this one. My original is beat to absolute shit, has annotations and everything, but it's nice to have a version that is pristine. So yeah, this is a good gift for someone in your life, or someone you know that likes a book and there's special editions. May it be like a UK edition or a special hardcover edition or anniversary. I think looking for something like that is a good and well thought out gift. Okay, next. Maybe also for the writer in your life, I always keep a journal. It's important for my mental health and my therapy journey and all of that. There are two types of journals that I really love using. One of them is Moleskine. I think that's how you say it. Moleskine. I think it's a German brand. But this is just the normal soft cover ruled notebook. I think that this is such a beautiful gift for someone who keeps a journal or a diary, or is a songwriter, or takes notes, or whatever. I've gotten this for someone as a gift before with like a nice pen that I found, a nice vintage pen or new. I think that stationery are always good gifts. And Moleskine, this type of notebook, and then the other kind I use is Type, and I've written all over it, and it has stickers. But it's this really nice cream colored journal. Oh, it's MD paper. Yes, MD paper. And Midori. Midori is what it's called. They don't all look like this. I've just put shit on it. But it's this gorgeous cream lined paper, and it comes with a bookmark. It also comes with like a little nameplate that you can put on it. And yeah, both of these journals I would recommend getting for someone who's into journaling. Those are my go-tos. I've had multiple of each kind of these notebooks, and they're all in a stack in the basement. No one will ever read them other than me. Next. Okay. This is for the person in your life that like loves Marvel and like Star Wars and Lord of the Rings and film editing, screenwriting, puzzles. I know that sounds like a very specific kind of person, but I feel like I have at least 10 people like that in my life. This is an interactive novel by Dorst and J.J. Abrams. J.J. Abrams of Star Wars fame, whose daughter is Gracie Abrams, a wonderful musician. So this is called S, and as you've seen, it comes with a seal that you have to break. It's kind of a book within a book, and it's so fun. So it's called S. The book within that is called The Ship of Theseus. Also, I think this is a really good book for someone that loves design, graphic design, book design, anything. This is more like a collector's item. I think this was like $50 US dollars. But it's super thick, comes with everything that you need. I'll read you a little bit of the back. One book, two readers, a world of mystery, menace, and desire. A young woman picks up a book left behind by a stranger. Inside it are his margin notes, which reveal a reader entranced by the story and by its mysterious author. She responds with notes of her own, leaving the book for the stranger, and so begins an unlikely conversation that plunges them both into the unknown. So this is sort of a story within a story within a story. So yeah, this is such a fun gift, I think, especially for someone that's never heard of it. My friend Joseph, actually, that I talked about earlier, that we buddy read the George Saunders, showed this to me in college. So it's called S. Within that is this book called Ship of Theseus. So you take this off, and you have this, The Ship of Theseus. And this is by V.M. Straka, and Doug Dorst and J.J. Abrams wrote this book. This book doesn't exist. This is a fictional author, fictional story within the larger story. And it's like aged and designed to look like an old library book. Like it has the little Dewey Decimal sticker. It's debossed, the cover, the pages look old. And then within it is just, I geek out on stuff like this. I love stuff like this. You can see book for loan, and it looks old. This is brand new, but they've designed it to look old. Yeah, this is just a snippet of what you'll be jumping into if you read this, or even just have it on your shelf. I mean, you don't have to like dive in and read it. There's guides online on how to read it, like read the written story by Straka, and then go back and read the margin notes, and then go back and look at it all together. I mean, like, people go through and read it 3 times before they really, like, fully get it. It's really just, like, a testament to written media, like, people who are into magazines and people who are into actual print books, I think are the target audience of something like this. And yeah, they have actual handwritten, I mean, I think it's printed, but there are clues. Literally, can you even? That's the coolest shit I've ever seen. That they designed this whole thing. Got an old book. There's literally like a memo in here, part of the story. This is like a newspaper clipping, and this is like supposedly the book that the two people that left margin notes passed back and forth within a library. So they leave each other these little clues when they're researching the mysterious author. Literally, this is a napkin. It comes in it with a map drawn on it, supposedly by one of the people that wrote notes in this. Yeah, don't even know what this is. I don't remember now. I've read it so many years ago, but here's like a fucking wheel, I don't know, in the back, and the library log. I just think I geek out on stuff like this. I think it's so cool. Such a good gift, a really, really nice gift. And for someone who loves media, design, screenwriting, film, mysteries, this would be an epic gift. So this is something I definitely recommend. And it's a little pricey, but it comes with everything you need to fucking solve a mystery. So that's a really fun one. And something that I don't think a lot of people know about. I don't think a lot of people know about this. I haven't heard a lot of people on BookTube talk about it, but okay, next I have like a little smattering of different things. Good gift for someone who's very bookish in your life is a book plate stamp. I bought this for myself. I love books. I have many, as we have seen, in my room. There's a lot more that you haven't seen in the frame. And this is stamped at the beginning of all of them. I got this on Etsy. I'll link it down below. It's from the Packagery, I think is the name of the store. But people have been using book plates in their books for years, and this is just a really minimalist one. I think this is probably like the Garamond typeface, and it just says from the Library of Carrie Ann. I can show you the what it looks like. So it looks like that. And so when I loan my books out to my friends, which, I mean, there's still 8 million books in my room, but there's at least 30 loaned out to my friends, which I think is the beauty of having a good book collection. But I'll never lose them, hopefully. And I love, like I said, buying old books that have inscriptions in them and people's names. I just am a very nostalgic, tactile person, and I love things like that. Also, something to note, if you're buying someone a book, you have to inscribe it. You have to write to whoever, from whoever. That is the ultimate. If someone gives me a gift and it's a book and it doesn't have like anything written inside it, it's like, first of all, how am I going to remember that you gave it to me? Why did you give it to me? You know, that sort of thing. Let me see if I have an inscription I can show you. My friend Dakota got this for me last year, I think. This is Ta-Nehisi Coates' Between the World and Me. Amazing book, by the way. And he drew a little photo in it. It says, "From your friend Dakota." That's all I want, really, is to just, if you're giving me a book, write who it's from, write me a little note, tell me I'm a fucking bitch, I don't care, just write in it, you know what I mean? I was going to include a couple more things, but honestly, this is long enough. It doesn't really matter what you buy someone or what you give someone as long as you've put some thought into it, even if you just write someone a note. People just want to know that you care about them at the holidays. And yeah, I hope this helps. And I hope that you have a great holiday. Planning on filming a video with my roommate later. She is a creative director, very, very, very talented designer, and I want her to critique some of the books that I've read this year, the covers of them. So I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, and I hope that you have an amazing day and an amazing week. And don't let anyone tell you what to do. And Regan says goodbye as well. Say goodbye. Okay, bye. Buddy. Hi. You guys, I might have to go get a coffee. I am dying slowly. I mean, aren't we all? Wiggins.